4 a.m. in the morning, and I am getting up to share this experience because I am loyal to you. I should be sleeping right now. And what makes this experience that I'm going to share much more surprising to me was that I drank a little wine. So usually, for those of you who have been on this channel for a while, you know that when I drink any alcohol, or if I were to take a drug, and the only drug I would ever take would be something to stop the pain if there was pain in my leg or something like that. Normally, that stops the experience. That's it. There usually is no experience if I do this. And my expectation of an experience was zero when I laid down tonight. I was like, well, I had a wine, a glass of wine or two, and so I'm just going to go to sleep. So I closed my eyes. And this, again, I tell you, you have to keep your mind open at all times because you never know when this is going to happen. I think I've really truly begun to realize that you cannot predict this at all. There are no hard set rules. And it's something that I've kind of tried to express to you, that you shouldn't try and put this in a box. You shouldn't say this is what it is, and also even with the technique or the things that you might do to leave your body or to have an experience, you should try to be open about all of this, because I tell you, things have happened to me when I've least expected it. And this was not a time that I expected it would happen. In fact, it was interesting. When I laid down tonight, it was almost like I was daring my guides. I was like, well, I've had a couple of glasses of wine. So if you're going to have me have this experience, I don't think it's going to happen. I think sometimes my guides are just like, well, we'll see. So they made sure that it happened. Now, I laid down, gosh, let me see here. It's now 1:37 a.m. in the morning on Wednesday. And this happened about 20 minutes ago. 20 minutes, I would say. And so I laid down, and for those of you who are curious, and I know there are many of you who are curious, what did I have on in the background? What sounds did I have on? Did I have, what do they call that, binaural beats or whatever? I don't have, sometimes I listen to that, but normally I don't. I just have something on, to be completely honest with you. I had storm sounds on. It relaxes me. I think I've had storm sounds on before, like the storm, like the sound of lightning and thunder and it raining, like natural sounds. And that seems to, in some way, relax me. But I was already tired. I'd been, studying Spanish, as I do a lot. And I don't know if that's a pattern or not. Maybe that's something to think about. I've told you before that when you, for those of you who are interested in leaving your bodies, you should tire yourself out as much as you can, tire your mind out as much as you can, because your mind is usually the thing that has the power to kind of block you from going out. So you want your mind to take a back seat and allow your more expanded self to do its thing, to help you to leave your body, or to do what I call the beyond body, which I think is different, going into these different realities, which is so interesting. So anyway, I laid down and I was just like, okay, well, I don't know what's going to happen. And I shut my eyes, and gosh, it couldn't have been more than 7 or 8 minutes later. I felt that surge of motion. In fact, it's so funny. I almost felt as if I, I tell you that sometimes I'll feel myself, just hurtling through space. This time it felt as if I think something propped me onto my feet. And this is, again, just the feeling. I didn't actually, get onto my feet. This was the sense that I got, was that something put me onto my feet, and then I did a somersault and I was on my way, which was weird. And I was moving and moving and moving. And it was that sense of motion that I always tell you about in the beyond body, that sense that I am traveling through space and traveling through space and darkness. And as I did it, it was so funny because I'd had certain thoughts in my mind of what I wanted to do and what I wanted to see. I wanted to go to like an amusement park or someplace like Disneyland, someplace where I could just relax and just chill out because, with all the stress that's been going on in the world, I wanted to go somewhere that I could just chill. Another thing that I had been thinking about actually in the last day or so was going out into space and seeing the Milky Way from a distance and seeing if it really looked like the Milky Way. It was something that just kind of popped into my head. I was like, wow, that would be interesting. And so I've been thinking about that. But in my head, I thought, as I was moving, I just thought, okay, guys, take me someplace cool. Like, I was thinking I want to go to Disneyland, but, I want to go someplace really cool, someplace really fun. And so I began to slow down eventually, as I always do. And the darkness lifted. And I looked around. I was in a room or an area of some sort. Now, as you know, I begin to forget as soon as I come back. This is one of the problems that I seem to have. I've seen stories from some people. It seems like they retain everything. But for me, it is hard for me to remember. So there are only certain things I can take away. And when I'm there, it's like I'm thinking to myself, okay, I want to remember certain things. And actually, you guys come into my mind. I think, okay, I want to bring certain things back because I want to be able to tell you I saw A, B, and C. And the first thing I saw was this huge, vast painting. It was huge. Any of you who have been to Disneyland, Pirates of the Caribbean. And those of you who maybe have not been to Disneyland know Pirates of the Caribbean as well because of the movies. But there was a ship, a painting of a ship. And this painting was larger than life on this wall. I mean, it was huge. And it was, I would say it was a pirate ship, but it was a ship of that time period. And it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. It was stunning. It was a beautiful rendering of a ship, a painting of some sort. I looked at it and then I tried to walk toward it to get to it, but something was blocking me. There was something in my way, and I don't remember what it was because I was going to try and reach out and touch it. Again, I wanted to do an experiment, as I always like to try and do experiments when I'm out there, to try and touch things, to feel things, to see how it is. But I wasn't able to get to that. I headed outside and I got on this tram. It was a tram. I think it was some kind of tour I was getting on. Now, this was interesting because I don't remember who was driving this tram. I don't. But it was a tram, and I don't recall seeing many other people on the tram either, other than myself. But as we began to move, I looked out, and I was sort of, I think, in an enclosed area, but I couldn't, again, tell you all the details, but I could see outside of this enclosed area. Think of it almost like, I almost thought of it like a parking lot or some sort, or a parking structure, and we were headed out of this parking structure maybe. But I looked out and we were up in the mountains, and it reminded me, I don't know why, the first thing that came to my mind was Italy. Being up in the mountains, maybe in Italy, and seeing these houses, and they were beautiful. I mean, it was just a beautiful landscape. It was very relaxing. I think my guides really, took my words to heart when I said, I just want to relax. And they took me to some place that was just beautiful and relaxing. And I got on this, or excuse me, we were moving on this tram, and I was just taking it all in. Now, one of the things I want to tell you that I was doing consciously during this whole time was I was breathing. Again, I've told you how important breathing is. I cannot stress this enough. If you want success doing astral projection, being out of your body, you must breathe. You must breathe. And I do it while I'm out. It helps to maintain me being out there, to sustain my time. I spent probably more time than I usually do because I was breathing, and I kept breathing consciously. Just breathing, and just taking in everything that I saw. Now, unfortunately, I can't give you a lot of details of the hills and all the things that I saw. It was quite beautiful. It really, truly was. That's all I can really tell you. The sun was shining in this place. Right now, obviously, it's nighttime, but the sun was shining in this place, and it was gorgeous. It was just a gorgeous landscape. And again, I wish I could share more with you. At one point, this kid, I think he was on a motorcycle or I don't know, some sort of bike or something, went by us, and he didn't seem like a nice person to me. And for some reason, I think that he had said some things, or he yelled or something as he was going by. I don't remember exactly, but he didn't seem like a very pleasant individual. Whoever he was, who knows who he was. Maybe he was a nice person. I just maybe misunderstood him, but I don't remember exactly what he said. I'm sorry, I don't. And at one point, the tram stopped. I got off because I was going to go out of this structure that I was in and go take a closer look at the surrounding hills to see how beautiful everything was. And as I got out to do this and walk toward the outside, I lost my grip on whatever reality this was, and I was back. And, to be honest with you, I think this was more perhaps a relaxation thing. I mean, I asked for that, and that's what I got. So that was the experience. Not a lot of excitement or twists and turns, but this was how it was. And so that's it. And it's funny, I'm thinking about definitely requesting the whole thing about seeing the galaxy the next time I get the opportunity to be out there to look at the Milky Way. Kind of fascinated with that. Anyway, when that happens, I will open my eyes, go back to the mic, and tell you exactly what occurred. Thank you so much for coming on another journey with me. And until next time, take care.